What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown, and this is the show where we hang out long after we should have thought about going to bed on a Saturday night and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures we've accumulated that need painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die, so we're just trying to stave off death for as long as we possibly can. And I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line, recently promoted to Facebook poster along with me on the Another Letdown Facebook channel, it's our resident monkey handler, my perennial painting partner, Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be back.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute here. Yeah, okay, so I've been part of a significant part of the problem. I've been basically flying solo dadding for the last lot of months, like since January, because my wife is expecting our second child and is very, very tired. She's also been working a lot of night shifts or evening shifts, making it even worse. So painting has been very, very difficult to come by. That said, my daughter is now big enough to paint, not miniatures, but to paint, and loves to do it. I wonder where she gets that from. So I've actually had a chance to paint off camera, which is very cool, and we'll unpack that in just a minute. I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right back to it. I'm painting Blade tonight. I've got no idea what you're painting, but as with all the shows that we host here on the channel, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Let's paint. Oh dear, this new drawer I've built seems to be getting in my way already. That's fine. I kind of built it that way.
Where are my minis?
What's that?
I set down the minis elsewhere when I went to go grab something else, and they're not at the table.
Oh, that'll do it. So yeah, I'm picking up where I left off on Blade. But yeah, so with my daughter, I actually started working on Rhino.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, what's a miniature that? Oh my god, I just realized I missed a huge part. I'll fix it later. But I was like, what's a character that I can, just kind of mindlessly paint and not paying any attention to it? I'm like, oh, Rhino. It's absolutely Rhino.
It's like, yeah, just solid gray.
Solid gray, a little bit of flesh color on the face, done. Obviously I've got inking and whatnot to do, but yeah. So, all right, what am I doing?
Painting.
Yeah, reference image might help though. There we go. There it is. So he's got green pants. He's got a black duster that's in the art kind of brown, but I don't care. I guess a brush might help. I'm also kind of like, I'm still learning how I want my desk set up to be. I'm going to zoom out for a minute here. This is what I've got currently, but I think because I'm primarily right-handed, I'm actually going to move my wet palette to the other side. Move these Chaos Dwarfs out of the way that are still waiting to be delivered to their home at the store. So yeah, today's big project for me was to build a drawer in my desk for my Citadel paints, which of course sticks because it's a little too stiff, but I'll fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice to have those a little bit more out of the way. Oh, that actually works out perfectly. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is fine. All right, so if I put the wet palette there, that's weird.
What's up?
Oh, nothing, just camera stuff. And then yeah, this is pretty okay, I think. Okay, cool. Yeah, happy with that. Zoom in. Yeah, so I built this drawer. I've had the rails for it forever, and haven't bothered to do anything with it. So I finally got, basically once we finished the arcade machine, I was like, oh, I've got lumber now. I can, or like leftover lumber, I can put some of this to good use. And I did. And now I don't have to look at my Citadel paints anymore.
That's good.
Obviously, like, there's certain ones that I still use. We talk about this all the time, like Agrex Earthshade, Null and Oil, dropping things. Those are staples. Everybody uses them. Games Workshop or not, they're the best in the biz for certain colors. So we do use them, but the other thing that this surface will be being used for, and I should before I make a mess, I should bring this out. This is also going to be my workstation for modding things on camera.
Nice.
So we'll see some nice shots of that coming up soon as well. I was looking to start that this week, but due to extenuating circumstances, bedtime, I was not able to do that. But Switch 2 should be arriving this week, so maybe we'll do an unboxing on camera.
So I'd say I was not fortunate enough to get one yet.
I wouldn't have fought so hard for it. And honestly, it wasn't a particularly hard fight. It was just Adam and Jamali and me on a call late night anyway, as we would have done on that particular day. Like, we were planning on doing that anyway. But with the second baby coming, and the like ongoing economic whatever, I was like, I don't want to deal with this in a year. Like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I'm gonna get this in my hands. I'm probably not gonna play it a whole lot. There's not all that many games that I give a rat's Maker about right now. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I can take or leave. Mario Kart, whatever. I'll play it if my nieces want to play it, but for the most part, I don't care. Metroid Prime 4, yeah, looking for that, but still need a way to play Prime 2 and 3. I have a Wii; it's literally right in front of me right now, but I don't like the Wii remote for controlling first-person shooter. That just distresses me.
It seems like it's like the most intuitive because it's just like it's like playing an arcade shooter at that point in time.
Yeah, but maybe that's not the experience I want. I guess I don't know.
Understandable.
I've always had trouble articulating why I don't like the Wii remote. I guess the imprecision of the Wii remote is really what gets me. It's like it's not. It's a cool device. It's a neat gimmick, and I do have the Wii Motion Plus. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Wii remote. But I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not the way I want to play that game. I don't want to be flailing around or whatever, pointing and clicking. It just doesn't. It's not right. It doesn't sit right with me. Now, granted, to be fair, Prime Troid, as much as I like it, is not how I prefer to play Metroid either. And we've been through this a lot. Like, I definitely prefer 2D Metroid to 3D. But that doesn't mean anything, really. But yeah, so I'm really just looking forward to, like, I've been saving Echoes of Wisdom. Hoping that it would get an up-res, and it looks like it is going to get one.
I actually just got that for my this past weekend. I went to visit my folks at the beach for Memorial Day and / my birthday earlier in the month, since we didn't get to see each other.
Yeah.
And they got me Echoes of Wisdom for my birthday.
Nice.
In addition to that awesome Mega Man jersey.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I saw you. You texted me that, and I was like, I kind of hate you, but also like I kind of don't, because that's it's super cool. And yeah, I would be genuinely upset if it was a 0.
Oh yeah. If they just had 0, I probably wouldn't have picked it up.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't pick it up. I shared it because I thought it was cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Got it for me.
Sometimes I love it when parents do that, right? Like, my parents are really, my mom especially is really, really good at that. Like zeroing in on like, oh, hey, this isn't a hint. This is just something I think is cool. And then she'll like sit on that for months and I'll forget about it. And then all of a sudden it'll show up for Christmas or birthday.
Yeah, I guess it also helped that it dropped apparently the week or so before my birthday.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I mean, I guess at that point in time, it may have been like more of a like it may have seemed like more of a hint.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm super excited to have gotten it.
Yeah. Of course, you got to wait several months to comfortably wear it.
Actually, we had like a big cold front come through and a bunch of storms this past week.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it's been in like in mornings and evenings been in the like 60s or so. So it's actually been a pretty comfortable weather to actually wear it.
I'm sorry, it tickles me every time. The 60s is like butter zone for us up here. That's where we want it to be. That's shorts weather, my dude.
Oh no, I still wear shorts in that weather. It's just it is at that temperature where it is still comfortable, where I can throw on a jersey and not be like blistering hot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here wearing my Avengers hoodie right now. It's approximately that sort of temperature, and yeah, it's very comfortable right now, and I love it.
Yeah. I guess the opposite's true for me. Like, I mean, I guess it's not the weather we want, but when, like when our summers routinely get into the 90s and 100s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
kind of just what we're used to.
I know I'm staring down the barrel of it too. Like, our summers do get pretty warm here. Maybe not for as long as yours do.
Yeah,
but. You know, there's definitely those days that I'm just like, ugh, longing for my hockey jerseys again. But yeah, so I'm planning on doing an unboxing of the Switch 2 on camera on Thursday, assuming it gets here day of, which Target does not have me optimistic about. But we'll see.
Yeah, I did the notify me from Nintendo and did not.
Yeah, I didn't. None of us got that. Like, Paul and Adam and Chamali and I all put in for it. We all got ours elsewise, but we're just like, this is intriguing. I don't know. I literally don't know anybody who got it that way.
Yeah, because I definitely hit all the criteria that they set up with.
Oh yeah,
playtime, having the account for so long, because I've had my Nintendo like online account for years.
Yeah, same. Although I was on my buddy's family plan for a while, but that wasn't, that was like 3 years ago. I mean, I was saying to Adam, the 50 hours or whatever, I've logged that in the last year in Super Metroid alone. Like, not even a challenge.
Was the 50 hours like a total life thing, or supposed to be like a within the past year?
We are pretty sure it's total life.
Okay.
Nintendo wasn't super clear on that one. I did manage to pick up my micro SD Express card yesterday.
Nice.
Walmart just had it on the shelf.
Always convenient.
Cost too much, but I was like, again, this is something I don't want to have to worry about, years from now. Just get it in my hands. That should do for now. Let's see where that brings us. I've got a bunch of retro game cartridges that I now have boxes for that need to be assembled, so I'll probably do that on Thursday as well. I've got 4 Pokemon games, 2 Mega Man games and Perfect Dark, all in from TCG Paper. I'm waiting. He forgot to send me the game manuals for Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow.
That's no good.
Well, oddly, he did send me the green version one.
Nice.
Which, like, I ordered, but I was like, this is a custom jobby. Like, why did you send me the custom one and not the ones that are, you know, a little bit more legit? But whatever. Here we are. Oh, did you see also I hung up the Ramita sketch?
I did. Yeah, that was you sent me the whole picture of with the sketch and the drawers and all the other stuff. That was all like in one big photo.
Oh, yeah. Well, so the drawer is new as of today. The Ramita hang up was a couple days ago. I've always had Daredevil 1 and 6, my Stan Lee autographed books, above my paint rack. I was like, wait a minute, I could space those out one on either side and slam Ramita right in the middle, and it's gorgeous. Like, I'm staring at it right now. It's so cool. So,
I guess again, maybe like your paint rack is what I thought you were talking about.
Oh no, yeah, the rack's been there for a while. It's the drawer down below for my Citadel stuff that is new today. It's like a pull-out drawer. Oh, what else is new? I'm sure there's lots that I'm just forgetting.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you and I talk fairly regularly, and I think that does on some level hold back our conversation on Saturday nights. Like you texted me earlier with that there is now an Agent Legrasse, like, canonically in Arkham Horror, and it's not just Jason Frost.
I mean, there was one to begin with.
Right.
But yeah, he's like in the Arkham Horror LCG now.
Yeah.
Because he'd been left out aside from the fan-made scenario. Because he's like an ally in the Arkham Horror board game.
Right. But he's like specifically Jonathan Legrasse, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to I think it's Jason Legrasse, but I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Jatro. Which I could do. I mean, I could text him, but at this moment, I can't be bothered. Started playing Space Marine 2 finally on stream. That game is a lot of fun. I wish it was longer. Like, it's giving the vibe that it's going to be insanely short. And I'm not loving that because, like, I have another game lined up for the stream. I'm going to play Yars Rising, pseudo Metroidvania, based on an Atari 2600 game that Adam and I are both big fans of. And it'll be a good, like, I'm playing this on Switch 2, like, you know, here you go. But I'm like, I wish Space Marine 2 had been longer. Like, it just seems very rushed. The story seems very rushed by comparison.
What are you qualifying as, like, too short, or?
Well, like, the first game, the first game took. It felt like the first game took longer, to story mode. And I don't. The difficulty isn't really horrific in the second game. I felt like I was dying a lot more in the first. A lot more learning and growing involved. Maybe I'm just like rose-colored glasses. I've played the first one a number of times. Like, game's really good. I want the second game to live up to it, and maybe it's just not. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played either of them, so I do not have a way to judge that or understand.
It's really funny to me how when it comes to video games and like movies and stuff and literature, I much prefer sci-fi to high fantasy. But when it comes to tabletop games, I am just a fantasy boy. Like I would prefer 9 times out of 10 to play Warhammer Fantasy than 40k. But as soon as you get me to the computer, I'm like, I want to be cutting people open with a chainsword.
Yeah.
So I'm using a really watered down lighter green on his pants here.
Okay.
To just get these raised areas. I like the way it's coming out. Very fabric. It's giving fabric. That's what I want to see. With a little hint of camo, but also like I'm using this reference image from Tome of Dracula number 10, which is the first appearance of Blade. And he's these bright green pants that I'm like, okay, I want to do that, but I also want to do this in a way that is a little more modern than that, because the sculpt is more modern. So I'm liking how this is coming out. Did you see that the Scrubs reboot has officially signed Zach Braff?
I did see that. I thought of you.
I am
when I saw the news.
Not certain how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Doug, the channel lawyer Doug, because yes, we have a lawyer. He and I were like, yeah, okay, but maybe can we not? Like,
yeah. It's so, like, not just Scrubs in particular, just so much exhaustion involved with constant just reboots and nostalgia bait.
Yeah, like, I just feel like Hollywood can't have an original thought anymore. And when they do, people are like, no!
Yeah.
When in reality, I'm like, maybe we should be knowing something else. Like,
yeah.
But I am a glutton for punishment, so I will absolutely be watching.
Yeah.
Someone texted me. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just went and saw Lilo and Stitch today.
Oh no. Is it
kind of the same thing?
Yeah.
It is aggressively mediocre.
Yeah. I heard that...
once again the common trend of those of why am I watching this? I should just go watch the cartoon instead.
Yeah. Someone texted me today with the direct quote was, "Please tell me you're still up on Doctor Who," and I was like, no. Like, I am not. I believe my exact words were, somewhere around the Matt Smith era, the writing got very repetitive, very cyclical, and much more focused on being a meme than actually being a television program. So I dove off somewhere in the Capaldi era. I struggled through a lot of episodes that I probably should have just skipped, for a lot of reasons, but mostly because we were doing a weekly gathering at that point. And it was nice to see my friends once a week. That's really what it came down to. And I genuinely couldn't care about what we're watching on the television. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. I'm check, please. So I guess something big happened tonight on the finale. Whatever. But again, it's all, I won't spoil it here, although they've spoiled it all over the internet. So just Google Doctor Who if you're curious. I'm just like, or it's exactly the same thing. They brought back another old character in a desperate attempt to save ratings, and I'm like, this is not. Can we not, like?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see Thunderbolts?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Just-
I can't wait to watch it again. It's for the first time in a long time, Marvel has made a movie about something. Like they have a topic, and it's not just connect this to all the other movies for the sake of doing that.
Also, are you supposed to be referring to it as Thunderbolts?
Yeah, because that is the official title of the movie.
Didn't
The
they
official
change that like
no,
the week after?
they changed the marketing. The official like so the driving force here is awards presentation stuff, but yeah, marketing has changed it to something else, but it is still called Thunderbolts in terms of everything else. But yes, the team is definitely called something else that I definitely groaned at.
Yeah.
But no, it's a genuinely fun and good and entertaining movie. Like it really hits on all levels. Florence Pugh is a delight, and it is definitely her movie in many ways. But yeah, it was fun. And again, a good night out with friends goes a long way. Okay, that's pants done. Probably gonna need another highlight coat on that, but that's fine. Who actually are you doing today? I didn't even ask.
I'm just working on some clone troopers.
Oh, okay, cool. Getting back into it.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I got
Go ahead.
a large contingent of them still like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up the wolf packs.
Oh, right on.
So I've got Commander Wolf and like 2 other guys.
Sick.
Because I also got like the Death Star escape, Luke, Han, and Leia.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a lot of like, and several stormtroopers as well, like Vader and a bunch of stuff. So I've got a lot of white painting to do.
Yeah.
In the near future, and so I kind of just want to get some of it started and kind of just start pacing some of that out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just a lower bandwidth project for right now.
I mean, sometimes that's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of using Gray Seer for general base coating,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go and wash and then layer up a bunch of brighter whites to highlight.
Nice.
Whites are always a pain to work with.
They truly are. That is a fact.
But I found this technique to be really helpful.
Good. So we did finally finish the arcade machine, like completely.
Yeah.
Um,
You have for summer yet?
no, we've still got 2 weeks left. 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
Yeah, all my school finished just before Memorial Day nearby.
I mean, that's fairly typical for South versus North. And it's not due to snow days this year, I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
We only had 4 snow days all year.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Our first snow day
If you-
wasn't until like February.
Wow. I was going to say, we tend to have it a little bit more because someone just says snow and the entirety of everything shuts down.
Yeah, everybody panics. But no, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, no, I kind of like the later, Exodus.
The what? Exodus? What?
School getting out.
Ah.
I couldn't tell you why I like it, but I mean, so in 5th grade, right? Somebody said, "Hey, what if school were like you could choose, like it was year round, it was offered year round, and you could choose when what part of the year you were going to be there." And they immediately had my attention. I was like, "What?" They were like, "Yeah, so if you," and obviously this is a very magical Christmas land thing, but they were like, if your family like is really into skiing, right? You could go, you could take your quote unquote summer vacation during ski season and go ski.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And it would give the teachers a little bit more autonomy as well. You know,
but then you run into issues of like curriculum.
Oh, absolutely. Things would be a lot more like loosey goosey isn't the word I would use, but like, oh, I don't want your commercials, you stupid butt.
Where is the paint I want?
Yeah, I now lost my train of thought, but it's a very magical Christmas land idea to have year-round school where you could pick what you want to do. But I was like, there's something to that I do appreciate and I do like.
I was about to say that's almost just the concept of doing essentially homeschool.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it, it definitely comes on some level from that, but that seems fine. Oh, this one's very runny. That was definitely clogged. That would have made a mess.
Oh, yeah, I hate it when that happens.
That's the one disadvantage. Like, that's the one thing that Citadel pots have over dropper bottles. They don't get clogged.
Yeah.
But good riddance, Citadel color. So I did go down to the retro game stores down south of here.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was it last? No, 2 weeks ago. Didn't get much. I'm really at the point now where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be really picky about what I buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't have infinite time.
Yep.
And if I'm gonna own a game, I either need it like given to me, so I got it for free, or I want it to be actually something I'm gonna play.
Yep.
So I picked up Yoshi's Island.
Which one?
The SNES, Super
Okay.
Mario World 2. And I'm glad I did, because I'm really enjoying it. I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying it.
No, I can do that.
Being that it was a sequel to one of my all-time favorite games, without, changing most of the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
The level design is way more in depth than SMW. And obviously the sort of egg shooting mechanic is really unique. Re-implemented, I guess, in Yoshi Story for N64,
Mm-hmm.
which is another game that I do remember. That one I do remember very fondly. I loved it to pieces. We played it a bunch.
Yeah.
Don't have
I used
that
to rent it
original.
from Blockbuster all the time.
Yep, I think that's probably where we got it too, or we didn't have Blockbuster, but something similar. I think I broke Adam the other day when I admitted that we didn't have a Blockbuster anywhere near us growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Shows how much in the sticks we live.
Yeah.
I worked at the video store in town. Had no video games at all. But boy, did I watch movies. I had never seen the movie Clerks up until much later in my time at the movie theater or movie store. But then I realized very quickly that I was Randall Graves.
Mm-hmm.
I was a terrible, untrustworthy employee who would routinely mess with customers just for fun. And I lived for when my friends were around and could come hang out and or watch the store for me while I did other things.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my friend Danielle would basically run the store while I painted miniatures in the corner.
Yep.
And she definitely was not employed there.
That was like me at Putt Putt.
Right? Like, I remember one time also, one of the other clerks who worked there, Rosalie, she didn't want people people were just, the phone was ringing off the hook one day. And she's like, you know what? I'm just going to call Zach and talk to him for like 2 hours because I don't want to answer the phone. My mom was livid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised my mom let me work there for as long as she did. That place was shady at best. There was a lot of films of a certain variety.
Yeah.
I love how these TT Combat paints layer. Like, it's like they're built for layering. Again, I'm watering them down a little bit here for this, but I titled this episode Blade and Stuff, by the way.
Okay.
Just, something different,
Makes sense.
right? Did you watch the new series of Andor?
Not yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've been trying to it's on my radar and I want to watch it. Obviously I loved the first season a
Same,
lot.
yeah.
But the way that they release these as like the whole story, like the whole arc,
Mm-hmm.
because like the first season was sequenced this way where it was really like 4 mini arcs that were 3 episodes each.
Yep.
And they were doing the same sort of sequencing with this second season,
Yeah.
but they dropped them all as like each arc instead of weekly as episodides.
Oh, strange. I mean, so
Yeah,
I binge watched the first season when I had COVID.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't see it that way. That's why I'm kind of surprised by this.
Yeah. Like I was watching season 1 as it came out, episode by episode, just one at a time. But yeah, then but when you looked at the way that the episodes were structured, it was very clearly that sort of 4 small like movies for all intents and purposes when you look at runtime and stuff, hitting the different kind of story arc beats. But in this one they released like 3 episodes a week where it was just that entire like arc. And so I was like wanting to watch it, but then trying to block off time to watch just the whole arc instead of just an episode. And it was still released as episodes. So, but it was like 3 episodes and then a week. So you could still watch it 1 episode at a time if you wanted to.
Huh.
I was just trying to avoid that to do the like at the full story as I went.
Interesting. Disney's been making a lot of strange decisions lately.
Mm-hmm.
I read a report early in the week that like Bob Iger is really PO'd about the way that the MCU is being delayed constantly. And I'm like, dude, like if you're that upset about it, pull the plug. Like should have been done after Endgame, just pull the plug.
Yeah.
So I also have not watched the new series of Andor yet. Again, like part of it, because I watched the first season during, when I had COVID, I don't remember a whole lot other than Andy Serkis is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, do I need to go back and rewatch it? Because if that's the case, then I'm probably not going to watch season 2. So I haven't made my decision yet. Also, like, and again, coming back to where we started, I haven't had a whole lot of time to do anything for myself.
But I mean, I really did enjoy Skeleton Crew when that came out back in December. And I have been watching, because it's a little bit easier, is the Tales of the Underworld, which was this year's like Tales release. And those, I mean, are 15-minute episodes, so
that's not bad at all.
It's like pop that in while I'm eating dinner or something like that, and just watch that a little bit and move on. So that was a little bit easier to digest than Andor.
And like I'm also battling a lot of Star Wars fatigue right now. Like,
Understandable.
I just part of the reason I liked Andor so much, I remember liking Andor so much, is there's very little Jedi emphasis.
There wasn't really any at all. Yeah.
Exactly, if any at all. And even Mandalorian like had some, and it was like
Had a lot.
it had a lot, and
I mean, maybe not the first season. It was like a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
tangential, but yeah, like it definitely went into a whole bunch of Jedi stuff.
and that's immediately where I'm like, okay, I don't care. And it's
Check, please.
yeah, check please. And you know, a lot of that is because the Skywalker saga just burned me out. I don't care. It made me not care about Jedi, which is a shame because it's a cool idea.
Mhm.
But it's just like it's not important to me. If I had my way, everything in Star Wars these days would be space combat and scum and villainy garbage.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I guess that is one of the things I guess I really did like about Skeleton Crew. It kind of blended. It's like Jedi, but not Skywalker, and
yeah.
then you also get that hint of scum and villainy bit type
Yep.
stuff, and it's all just mixed together. It was an interesting combination.
Yeah. Yeah. I really do hope I can get around to Skeleton Crew at some point. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I'm sad that it definitely did, like it got canceled.
Yeah.
But I will say at least it was really they closed everything, and so it was in that sort of position where they could go on if they wanted to, but like the story arc was done.
Yeah. They probably didn't have to, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Supergirl did that I don't remember which season it was. Like everything just tied up nicely. And yeah, it came back for another season, but it didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pants tick. So yeah, the students got their first, like the students who didn't work on the arcade machine got their first crack at Super Metroid Arcade yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely got their butts handed to them.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, here I am. I'm like, casual 70 rooms, whatever. Arcade version of Super Metroid counts how many rooms you go through, rather than necessarily how many kills you get, or anything like that. So, I'm in there just, I know the game really well, and they were like, "How are you doing this?" I'm like, "Because I've played this a gajillion times. Like, no room in this game will surprise me. It just won't." And so they're like frantically researching Metroid at the end of the day, and of course, one kid finds a website that allows him to play Super Metroid online.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
so
like,
he can practice.
He's like, and I'm like, okay, all right. The fact that you're on the school network basically requires me to say, if you're using this at any time that's not okay, I'm literally just going to remove the arcade machine. Like, it won't live at the school.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fair. And I told all of his teachers, like, if you catch him playing our game outside of designated time, i.e. Friday afternoon, when I'm there, then the arcade machine goes home, and that's game over. You don't get to do that. Nice and runny. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, cool. That's what that was. Oh, I don't want to go quite to Booyah Orange. Oh man, there's a part of me that does though. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be stupid.
So, did I get to tell you about the new Marvel Champions set?
No, I don't think you did.
So, they released the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
box. And I finished the campaign a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a ton of fun. It kind of follows the basic idea and plot of Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
There's like a mole in the executive board of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maria Hill and Nick Fury go do their stuff to figure it out and solve the problem while you're fighting AIM.
Oh my god.
And so they introduced this mechanic where in order to figure out who the mole is, you have to determine their like means, motive, and opportunity.
Oh, cool.
Like why they're doing something and how they accomplish it essentially. And so you have a set of 9 cards, and it's 3 means, 3 motives, and 3 opportunities. And at the beginning of the campaign, you take one of each of them at random and stuff it in an envelope.
Nice.
And then set it aside and take the other 6 and stick them in a separate second envelope. And as you play through the campaign, if you do certain things, you are able to pull cards out of the shield envelope, not the AIM envelope, and it lets you narrow down which one of the board members is the mole. And in the final scenario, you have to make an accusation of who you think the mole is based on what evidence you've gathered through the campaign. And if you are correct, because you have to, it's not only just guessing the right one, but you have to guess the correct means, the correct motive, the correct opportunity, and the correct person.
I mean, that's really cool. Sorry, I'm rooting around under my desk. I've dropped my pen and I need it again.
Not a problem. And if you're right, you progress this through the story. If you're wrong, you also progress, but the villain starts with a whole it happens in the middle of the last scenario. So the villain gets a big boost and lots of extra threat get added to this scenario. So you get really, really far behind if you make any incorrect assumptions.
I quite like that.
Yeah, it was really fun. And so the campaign log in the back has like for each of the 3 executive board members a whole list of certain combinations that are there, so as you figure it out you can cross it off and be like, okay, well, it's not here, and then you can narrow down to which person is the secret bad guy.
I've just noticed that one of my Chaos Dwarfs is broken. And I don't know how long he's been broken, because I found the end of his gun.
So you know a dwarf is broken, but you don't know which dwarf because you found
I know which one it is, because I found it quickly, but... That's not good, because I need to get this yellow open. Also, I really don't want to be stabbed by a pin that's in my carpet somewhere.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not a lot of fun.
No. That's like a whole bunch of tetanus boosters and all kinds of other nonsense. Because goodness knows, that pin is not clean. Where did I put it? I swear I just kind of dropped it somewhere. which wasn't very smart. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sure there are other ways
To get tetanus?
to get tetanus. I can even see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second.
What's up?
I think I'm just being dumb.
Yeah?
Yeah, this might actually work. There we go. Yeah, much better. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Good.
Found a much more efficient tool than a safety pin. You know those like wire tie things that
Like go around your bread?
yeah, like bread tie.
Let's make this a little darker.
Oh, so I had another group of kids. This is one I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. My fourth graders. One of them came in semi-recently, back in like February, I guess. Dressed in a completely absurd costume.
Mm-hmm.
She had a Hello Kitty hat, like winter hat, so like it was a big poofy hat. A ridiculously poofy like down parka, and then a like snuggie over the top of it, like a blankie, like a big thick blanket. And I was like, she looked incredibly familiar from something or somewhere, and I couldn't put my finger on it. it was Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. So not Rebirth, the first game, like DLC. She had this ridiculous Moogle costume on. And I was like to the student, can we take your picture and just Photoshop you as her? I showed her a picture. She's like, oh my God, I do look like that. I was like, yeah, let's try it. And then the rest of the class, of course, like they're really good sports. Like they were like, well, okay, this student gets to do this. Fine. We, you know, we'll get something cool later on. And then I just start, like, we get into the green screen lab. We start taking pictures of the one student. And I was like, I'm looking around at the class. I'm like, you guys all look like uncannily similar to characters from Final Fantasy VII. And I just started calling up pictures. I'm like, here's Cloud, here's Tifa, here's Aerith. And the consensus became very clear, like, we need to Photoshop the fourth graders as Final Fantasy characters.
Mm-hmm.
They took that assignment so seriously, and they came up with perfect facsimiles of every character. Every major character and a few minor characters, I should say. It was really
And
cool.
one edgelord got to be Sephiroth.
No, I wouldn't let them do Sephiroth.
Oh,
They wanted me to be Sephiroth.
okay.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but no. So we had Cloud, Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, Yuffie, Zack.
Oh, then I guess another edgelord could be Vincent.
Yeah, we considered Vincent, but like too much of his face is concealed, so it wouldn't like work.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Kate Sith, which was one girl just kind of indulging her inner. I don't want to use the word furry, but it's the closest I can come.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a Gilgamesh,
Nice.
which was pretty cool. I think that student just wanted to be a samurai. I was like, you know what, fine, do it. We had an Elena.
Did you have a Sid?
We didn't.
That is not the correct response. The correct
No,
response would be which one?
Well, yeah, also correct. But no, it was a really wildly successful project. I was really proud of it, and they were too. It's hanging up on my window in my in the library right now, and everybody keeps stopping by like, oh my gosh, Final Fantasy Re-4th. What's that mean? I was like, oh, it's just, I mean, they're fourth graders. Like, we couldn't call it Rebirth or Remake, so Re-4th. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but it was neat to see a class just take seriously something that they had never, even thought about or considered or anything. None of them are aware of what Final Fantasy VII is, but it was kind of cool because I was playing Rebirth at the same time. I did finish it, by the way. Great game, love it. But they were like, what happened this weekend? What's new? What's different? And I'm just relating the stories and trying to explain to them the interpersonal relationships between the characters and how the way I see it versus the way the world sees it, the way the game developers see it, the way the voice actors see it is all entirely different, but all entirely valid, which is so cool. Like me, I'm not into shipping. I don't care, really.
Yeah.
But the relationship component of Final Fantasy is significant. So, I did take a stand on that. I am a Cloud Tifa person, just because Tifa seems to have better control over Cloud than Cloud does. So trying to explain to my Cloud actor and my Tifa actress what was going on was very funny. And then, of course, the Aerith Zack piece as well was very funny. And then my Elena student was hilarious because she's, Elena, like, as much as, yes, she's a Turk, yes, she's a very adept fighter, she's a thorn in Reno and Rude's side. And I think that's what she's supposed to be. And that student loved that she was pretty much just a nuisance. But they all did a really nice job, like, directing each other and helping each other with costuming and photoshopping. And obviously my students don't have Cloudstrife's hair. But we made it work. There are some tools in Photoshop that allow that to happen. The smudge tool specifically. But I really do love it when an end of the year project comes together like that. Just feels good.
Yeah.
Of course, now I got to figure out what to do with them for the next 3 weeks. But I also feel like, going on paternity leave at the very beginning of next year, that's going to be a pain to the students,
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell you how nice it is having the document camera higher up now. Like, I'm not fighting with the document camera to see my own mini.
Yeah, it's always my problem, and I end up pulling it out from underneath so often.
Yeah. That was part of the motivation, I guess, for the desk rebuild. I was just sick of. There's a lot of things that were just bothering me. Not having the soundboard right in front of me, like, that was one. Not having my various retro consoles plugged in. And they are all tied in now. I found a cool little RCA switcher device that allows me to toggle between N64, GameCube, Wii, whatever else I happen to have at the moment.
That is a nifty tool.
Yeah, it is. And it outputs HDMI.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yes, am I losing certain things? Yes. There's a consent there, but I'd rather have it seamless than fighting with it. All right, let's get some gold going here. What did I use? Started talking to the members of the local law enforcement divisions about our big bike ride this summer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Need to have like some roads blocked off or something.
No, I mean I'm not like one of the. I'm not doing anything in terms of management. I just like to know, if there's anything I need to know ahead of time. Like, are they going to be there? Are they, what's their plan for blocking off the roads? Are we looking at the same? And I mean, most of the time it's, oh yeah, it's same as last year. Great, cool, conversation over. But it's nice to know. And they seem to like it when you check in, so that's always good.
Yeah.
It also means that they'll be watching for you too. The police chief in the town I teach in, really good guy. Although sometimes doesn't think things through. We're getting ready for the final presentation day on the arcade machine. He comes in, he's like, "I'm about to pull the fire alarm." I'm like, "Really, Wally? Come on." clearly, not the right time for that.
Yeah, we're supposed to have random fire drills and stuff as well. And we had ours this week. And but we were in the middle of a sedation.
Oh no. So you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Woof.
So so they were made aware that we were in the process of having animals sedated. And so we couldn't leave. Now, normally, if there was an actual fire, we have protocols for that, and but for just a drill, it was like, no, we're not.
We're just going to ignore this. Yeah, ours seem to always come in the middle of testing. And that's never fun either. Because it's always the kids who are the most impacted by fire alarms that are testing in my room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obviously putting that diplomatically. I was like, God, you couldn't really.
I need to not put this Gracier up until I'm done. It's like I got the good base coat, but then every so often, like going in and like doing the guns or doing the like visors and things, I keep missing a little bit and having to go back to like touch up.
Yep. All right, I think. Oh, I did miss a spot. There we go. There. Much better. May need a much smaller brush here, but I'll try it anyway. Oh, hold on. Okay, I did it.
What's up?
Highlighting glasses, his
Oh, yeah.
red sunglasses. But I also have to get the neon green in there too, which is gonna be a pain. I'm actually gonna go with putrid
Go for the
green
OSL.
pus. That's the color here. I thought about going all the way to fluor with it, and I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Not for Blade. Makes sense on the zombie hands on his base, but... Okay, that actually looks sick. I even managed to give him the fangs.
Nice.
I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but I'm going to try and show it. Boy's definitely got fangs. I'm pretty dang happy with that. All right. Now the base. I think I'm going to do this very similarly to how I did Jean Grey.
How's that?
Well, it's a white line, basically. And then fluor from there. I don't trust that paint to not explode on me. Good call. And per usual, I never actually use a white. I use a very, very, very light gray.
Like Gray Sea or like I'm doing?
Frosted edge in this case, but yes.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I have my Gray Seer right here. Yeah, it's exactly the same. the new series of Taskmaster has been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever got a chance to watch any of that show, but
Nope.
it is so funny. They've got Jason Mantzoukas on this year.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. So, have you ever seen The Good Place?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen? Oh my God. See, I don't know him from a whole lot, but I know him like he's kind of like the wild hair, sort of crazy. Looks like he's going to go nuclear at any moment. And obviously based on his last name, he's Greek. Dude,
Mhm.
he's in a lot of stuff, mostly bit parts, but he is an absolute riot, and it's clear from the very first episode that all he cares about doing on Taskmaster is destroying things,
Okay.
and it is so funny. Very first episode, like they make it pretty clear that the only thing you're not allowed to do for health and safety reasons is to get on the roof. The
Okay.
very first thing he attempts to do is get on the roof. So yeah, this series has been gut-bustingly funny. And I spoke earlier about not necessarily having a whole lot of time to do anything. That's like the one show that I can watch because it's on Thursday nights and my daughter's at my parents'.
That's a little too light for what I need. Nope. Nope.
I know what I did when I said nope. What did you do saying nope there?
I'm just searching through, trying to find the right color to use.
Story of my life. I love that my daughter's old enough to like draw and paint and stuff now. For the 5 to 10 minutes that she's occupied by coloring or painting, I genuinely feel like myself,
Mm-hmm.
as a dad, and it's like, okay, this is great.
How's that lighter?
Duh.
The bottle looks darker.
Oh no.
I did so. All of the different in Star Wars, the clone regiments, like they use different colors and stuff to denote the different ones. So, like, ooh, that one might be a good one. So like Obi-Wan's 212 were the like yellow ones,
Yellow,
like Commander
yep.
Cody and stuff.
Which is interesting because I always thought, like, most of us when we were younger all thought that was rank based. Like
I think
the colors
at the very beginning that's how it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Attack of the Clones, that was how they denoted ranks. But then, like, kind of as the squadrons developed kind of their own personalities and stuff, they
Yeah.
started to denote based on like
Color patterning.
color patterns based on squads more so than that. But in the first episode that the 104th showed up with Plo Koon, like they're famous for being like this slate gray as their accent color.
Yep.
But their first the first episode they were in like this maroon reddish.
Huh.
They ended up changing because in the first episode they get ambushed and end up like suffering massive casualties. So they
Oh.
changed to gray, like as a to honor.
Oh, to honor the fallen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so like I had debated about using the like the first episode maroon, but I'm going ahead and just sticking with the gray. What if I mix it? No, that's still...
This highlight coat has really punched this base up a lot. I'm tempted to not even put the fluor on it. I will, but... Oh. Why are you alerting me about...
Well, I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah. You know, I say it all the time. It's amazing what a good quality base does for a miniature.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until I started applying the lava bases, the Chaos Dwarfs look incredibly boring. But now they look so ready to just eat you alive. And the same is true. Like Atomic Mass games, say what you will about their decision-making process, their bases, especially with Crisis Protocol, but Shatterpoint also, like, their bases are phenomenal and really pull a lot of stuff together.
Mm-hmm. Even the tactical rocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because they actually are, like, they're thought about. They're not just slapped on there. Richard from the Rocks department, take note. I think it's Richard. Can't text Joff. God, I'll never forget that day at the store. We were so bored. It was just dead. And Joff and I started riffing people who worked at Games Workshop. Was naming them. It's the Steve from the Skulls department discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. We were laughing so hard. It's hilarious. So, over the last couple of months, every Monday, before I stream, my buddy and I go out to the other comic book store, the one I worked at first, to pick up his books. But it's really just like, you know, Mondays suck. Let's make them. Let's do something fun.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's pretty cool because I've been just chipping away at the Iron Fist issues that I don't have from the first series. I now have exactly one issue of Iron Fist, properly Iron Fist, to pick up. Issue 7. And then, I mean, I'm still obviously looking for Daredevil stuff, but that tends to be a little more pricey. That said, I did just pay like $300 for Iron Fist 14. Does Broody know what's significant about that issue?
Of what? Iron Fist
number 14.
No, I have no idea.
First appearance of Sabretooth.
Ah.
I got it in a really high grade. Normally I go for reader grade, but I was like, this is... Nobody seems to have it in a reader grade, so... Oh boy, here we go. And I just sold off all those magic cards, so... Alright, that looks so much cooler. Alright, let's get some fluorescent paint down here. It's definitely fluor green. Question is it fluor turquoise? Do I go that dark? Maybe. You know, I'm gonna try it. I never use this one. Come on. Come on, marble. I can feel you rattling around in there. What's wrong with you? Let's see what happens. Huh? Front row.
What's up?
Bottle's like hella clogged. Oh no! It's breaking my unclogger. Whoa! What the heck? That was weird. All right. We had our school musical also.
How was that?
Well, it was very good. The students did a great job. I'm gonna start there. I, as the lead sound engineer, did not do a very good job. I read the script day of, and ball so hard. It came out fine, but to all my assistants, the message was, do as I say, not as I do. This is not the way to run. Yeah, I'm genuinely very happy. And like I said, the students did a fantastic job. I mean, really, really, really good. They did Seussical, which is not an easy musical to pull off. And to be fair, like when I say I read the script once, that is true, but I've also seen Seussical. Like I know the musical. So I was not going into it completely blind. But definitely not the way you're supposed to do it as the lead sound engineer. We have a local guy who donates all the sound equipment, sound lights and sound equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows that like I'm very well trained in that stuff, so he literally just is like, "Yep, here you go, go nuts." Like, sweet.
Finer detail brush time.
Yeah. I've been using literally the same brush all night. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what it is, but this fluorescent paint is really runny. And I don't hate that. A lot of painting, it seems, and I'm learning this now, which is probably way too late, is like under knowing your paint and knowing how to control it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why, like, when that's why I was so resistant to changing systems. And part of the reason I used Citadel paint for so long,
It's because you were just used to it.
I knew how to control it. All right, let's get the other green. There we go. This one's going to mix properly. That's the other thing. I don't have a giant tray on my table anymore. My desk is actually, like, manageable. Where's my drink? Okay. Need my declogger.
You know what I'm thinking about right now as I try and paint all these detail parts, like the personalizations on these clones?
Hamburgers?
No. I've done this once before with Star Wars Legion because I did my clone squad in that as the 104th, and I could have just pulled out those as references.
Well, we have a gift for that. Learning and growing.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those times where I wish I had a UV light so I could tell like where I'm where I need more fluor paint.
Yeah.
But their ghosts doesn't really matter. I'm mostly just using this as a highlight coat.
You know. Something. You know, the other thing that I'm gonna like regretting about this is that for Legion, when I did this, I bought like decals for all this stuff.
Oh no, you're gonna have to freehand it all.
I'm gonna have to freehand a bunch of stuff.
Oh. I mean, to be fair though, water slide decals not necessarily the best move either, because they rip so easily.
Yeah.
Oh, this is coming out so good. I'm really happy with it. Okay, the one thing I did forget to do is his boots. That's not difficult. Brown. Actually, it's like a greenish brown, but that's cool because I've got green already down on my pad. So I'm just going to mix a little driftwood brown into it. Oh, that's not mixed properly. Oh. Come on, work. Yeah. That's what's up. Okay. Let's mix. Mostly brown, a little bit of green. Just get that little. That's the way right there. Whew. Fire highlight coat. All right, let's go. I did finish Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Oh yeah, did you enjoy it?
I did. It was. I had. So here's what I didn't enjoy. And it has nothing to do with the game. Very little to do with the game. As someone who makes gaming content, I have always felt that it is my responsibility to offer critiques and criticism. Even if I love something, I should, by definition of it being a human creation, I should have opinions about it. And I should have things that can be better, things that can be improved. And my buddy, like I was like, well, that sure was a Bethesda game. Which I don't view as that's not a negative. That's just, well, this was a Bethesda game. It shows. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And my buddy immediately took that to be like excessively negative. I'm like, no. I'm just saying there's room for growth. That is all I'm saying. And that bothered me. I really, really liked it. It was slow. It was not what I expected. It definitely should not have been first person. That didn't make any sense. But I'm willing to forgive that. It was a fun experience. The voice acting was absolutely phenomenal. There's our boy. Just got to do his base, I think. I'll get started on that right now. Actually going to change brush here. Finally. Get this one. And I have an interesting idea. I think I might actually make use of this. Oops. This metallic green. But actually, oh no. I'm going to try this green interference. I think. Oh, I could do color shift. Yeah, okay. I know what I'm going to do. I guess it's this one. Ooh, a bubble.
Bubble?
My daughter uses, I mean, she's just using like Crayola, whatever paints. But she loves it when she opens up the paint pots and there's a bubble on the lid.
Oh.
Camera, focus, please.
Okay, this is coming along nicely.
Good. Good. All right, so there's that bit done. I want to see if I can achieve sort of like an ecto energy blob via either via some means. Either this sort of emeraldy color. Actually, this is probably the right way. Color shift paint. Let's go.
Like you're looking for a glowing green.
Like, well, it's the base here is like diamond plate metal.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got these green ecto arm things coming out of it. So I'm like, oh, well, how do I achieve that? And I think the answer is color shift paint. We're going to try it, see what happens. Yeah, it's work okay. Not exactly what I was going for, but I like it anyway. Yeah, that'll do. I'll nullify
That'll
a
do,
little
donkey.
bit. That'll do, donkey. I think I'll nullify a little bit of that when I put the Agrex down.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a conversation that will be had next week.
Oh, wow.
Yep, we're at the 2-hour mark. And in the, at this point, quite likely event that my daughter wakes up in the middle of the night, I should probably call it a night. But Blade is looking pretty dang cool. I'm actually really, really happy with this mini. Didn't start out that way. Didn't say anything, but it didn't start out that way. So thank you for tuning in. Those of you who did, if you catch this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. I don't know what people say anymore. I should be back on Monday night for Space Marine. My dad's going in for surgery on Tuesday, so I don't know that might change. I hope it doesn't. Thursday, I got the Switch 2. Theoretically, I got the Switch 2 coming in, so we'll do an unboxing. We'll put together some of the boxes for some of the video games that I've got bopping around that need boxing. So that'll be a thing. And then theoretically, Friday night for more Space Marine. And then we'll be back here. Yes, we'll be back here next week.
Yeah, should be.
We think. So, yeah.
I don't think I have anything till the end of June.
Yeah, I don't think I do either, but who even knows anymore? Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Take care, be safe, be well, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
See ya.